Mark Epstein, and today I am coming to you from the California State Capitol here in Sacramento, California. And I'm actually in the area as far as the Assembly Speaker's Office of Communications, and appropriate as far as we're communicating with you. What we're going to do today, we're into lesson 7, which is on-screen digitizing. And this is the lesson that we are teaching your students of how to use their mouse to add a point, or to draw a line, or to draw a polygon, or within ArcGIS Online as far as an area. Now this is all done in the lesson, and the video explains this, of using the tool called MapNotes. And MapNotes adds more versatility as far as being able to provide information on the map. But a MapNotes layer, for those of you who are familiar with GIS, is not a shape or other type file where you're storing data in it, so it does have some limitations. Also, MapNotes layers, when they're created, if you're looking to use a legend in a story map or web application map, which we will be talking about in the next lesson, does not give a nice, clean legend. So that has some design considerations that will be discussed in the next lesson and as you apply this technology to your content. Another thing in the video, as far as the students doing the exercise, when they get to doing the exercise, which is taking from a web map that they link, which has point data, and to connecting the dots that are around the campgrounds at a state park, and to give each campground a different color, is your students may be tempted, if they discover it, and many of them will, is the freehand or freestyle tool. And that I discourage using that in general. And the reason for that is that if you make your lines or polygons using the freestyle tool, it will not allow you to make corrections at a later point in time. Now, we're not going to discuss within the video about that function. That's something that your students will discover as they apply the basic skills. But it's something to be aware of, and to just keep, I just would prefer not to have the students get in the habit of using the freestyle tool, but get used to using the line and the polygon or the area function to draw those onto the screen. The other thing I would advise them as they're using that tool is to be careful it's not a speed race, because the way that tool works, to end the creation of your drawing, your line or your area, is you double click. And as you're going along, if you're not careful moving too fast when you're clicking on the mouse, it could read it as a double click, and then it ends the process and you've got to start all over again. So make sure your students are aware of that. Another thing is that like making imported data files, you can have the multiple MapNotes layers. And again, you can see this, the kids will learn how to do it, and that has, again, some advantages when you're dealing with the design considerations. As you go along, as far as using, as the kids use this and apply it to content and other assignments and products that they make, then you get into, as far as the design of what you want to display, what you want to communicate with point data. Does it make more sense? Is it better for your message or what you're communicating to do your points as far as a map note, or as by creating a table and importing it? So those are things that will come later on to be thinking about, as you may want to add to what instruction there is in the video. So Your kids will find this a fairly easy lesson. They should be able to knock it off and complete it very easily within 30 to 45 minutes for most students to be able to do that. So until next time, when we get to the last lesson as far as with web application maps, enjoy.